Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kairos Reactions, amplifying Kairos, and we are still warming up the engines before the release from the new album from the Warner. Everything's falling. I already done a video journey from Edwin Salman and another one from Dos to Dos. This time it's the turn of Narcisista, the first song they ever wrote in Spanish. I think we all know the story, but here's a quick briefing. It's on the haters. They were being criticized because how come you are from Mexico and not singing Spanish? Dude, shut up. And to shut them up, they make this song. So, without any further ado, we are going to start at Foro Didi, where they first performed this song, and will land on the Pepsi Center at the end. So, without any further ado, let's dive in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Ahora para ustedes,
And now for you,
por primera vez,
for the first
con
time,
mucha emoción,
with so much emotion.
esto es
This is
Narcisista. Dicen que hay que rezar por mí, tan preocupados, pero no veo que estén rezando tanto. No es para tanto. Dejen ya sus vicios, aléjense de mí, por favor. Critíquenme un poco más. Me encuentro entretenida al escuchar todo lo que dicen, lo que más dicen. Déjenme reírme un poco más.
before we start in the chorus. This was the first time I saw Paulina singing, and that was impressive. I have to admit, when the first I saw her, I was a little critical of the, the how different they sound when they sing Spanish and they sing English. But I have to admit, I don't care. I didn't care. It just felt different. But yes, this was the first time I saw her sing.
Porque tú no sabes nada, corres la voz y no te calles, me tapo los oídos y simplemente digo la 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 la. Déjenme dejar la lista, no soy loca ni malinchista.
One quick note for those of you who don't know what malinchista means, because it's a very regional word, so to speak. In Mexico, you call malinchista someone who prefers things from foreign lands or that are not national products. This was a big deal back in the 80s and 90s in Mexico. Uh, even there was even a campaign on TV which said not to made in chismo. Why? Because before the treaty with US and Canada, most things you get from importations were underground, so to speak, not quite legal. And you could always tell when something was, they call it fayuca or fakes, because they said made in China, made in Brazil, made in US. So that's where the word comes from. It's a means it's a deformation of the made in that place, and we turn it into malinchista or made in chista. So that's why they are using that word in specific, because they were being accused of being chistas because they sang in English. So having that out of the way, I'll shut my hole and let's continue with the song.
La 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 narcisista. Ya no sé qué hacer, no le veo el mundo a pretender, no intento más, porque yo ya sé que atrás de las cortinas ellos siguen hablando, sus buenas intenciones siempre salen sobrando. No creas que te engañas con ese disfraz, porque tú no sabes nada. Pones la voz y no te callas, me tapo los oídos y simplemente digo la 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 la. Déjenme negar la lista, no soy loca ni malinchista. La 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 la. Dicen que soy egoísta, condenada narcisista. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Volveré a negar la lista, no soy loca ni malinchista. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Dicen que soy egoísta, condenada narcisista. Muchas gracias. ¿Qué les pareció?
I think this was the last performance recorded when Ale and Danny were about the same size. Ale was still about the same size of her sisters, and then she went right up. I love the song. Like I said, first time I ever saw Paulina singing, and it was impressive because she was doing her mannerisms. She was performing. She was not just singing and playing. She was performing, and that's something that I admire of her. She is a performer, either on the drum kit or on front. And of course, since it's the first time they heard the song, people is just listening, paying attention, and we have the girl singing all the way through. Now let's see what happened 2 years later at Teatro Metropolitan. Let's dive now.
Ok, Ciudad de México. Quiero que todos griten muy fuerte por nuestro querido amigo Beto Ramos.
The intro of the song is almost the same. The only real difference is that Pau is not on the drum kit.
Dicen que hay que rezar por mí. Tan preocupados, pero no veo que estén rezando tanto. No es para tanto. Dejen ya sus vicios, aléjense de mí.
Again, little pause before the chorus. I think this was the first time we saw Paulina off the drum kit and being the front woman. I think I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this was the first time, and it shows. Why? You can see she's a good front woman, but you see she feels a little out of place. She's so used to perform while she's drumming, and you can tell that she's like, "What do I do now? What do I do now?" Even if you rehearse this and you know where to move, if it's the first time you are off your element, it shows. If we compare this to other times she's been up front, we'll see the difference. That may be an interesting thing to do next, right? All the things that Pau has been in front of the stage. Let me know if you want to see that, and we'll add it to the list. Let's keep going.
Porque tú no sabes nada, corres la voz y no te callas, me tapo los oídos y simplemente digo, na, 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 na. Déjeme negar la lista, no soy loca ni malicista. Na, 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 na. Dicen que soy egoísta.
And that's another big difference. Now we have the crowd singing.
Ya no sé.
Did you hear that? That's when you that's how you know she's not Rose. You start to hear little differences in the drumming. He's adding drum fills here and there, which are great, but are not part of the original, and it's not the same way Paulina does it. It's not a bad thing; it's just different, and that's something that adds
¿Qué
a lot.
hacer? No le veo el punto a pretender, no intento más, porque yo ya sé. Detrás de las cortinas ellos siguen hablando, buenas intenciones siempre salen sobrando. No creas que me engañas con estas. Porque tú no sabes nada, corres la voz y no te callas, me tapo los oídos y simplemente digo, na, 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 na. Déjenme negar la lista, no soy loca ni malicista. Na, 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 na. Dicen que soy egoísta, condenada narcisista.
What I was saying.
Na, 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 na. Volveré a negar la lista, no soy loca ni malicista. Na, 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 na. Dicen que soy egoísta. ¡Gracias, México! ¡Beto Ramos!
It does feel like a different version. Just the fact that Beto is adding so much stuff and he has his little I don't want to call it solo, but a little moment where he shined and made wrong feels here and there and just went wild. And even you could even hear the bass in the guitar adding a little bit to that. And then we drop into one of my favorite parts of the song is Danny's solo. Danny is not a solo guitarist, but whenever she did play a solo, she just nailed them every single time. And now let's move on to Pepsi Center. Now, this is the big first difference. They changed the way they start the song. This bass line is in the song, but they decided that she did a first round of this bass line, and that changed the whole vibe. If you don't pay attention to the bass lines and you just wait for the main riff or the main sound to identify the song, you will be completely lost in what's going on. That's brilliant.
Ok, Ciudad de México, ¿están listos para cantar? Los quiero escuchar, ¿ok? Esto es Narcisista. Dicen que hay que rezar por mí. Tan preocupados, pero no veo que estén rezando tanto. No es para tanto. Dejen ya sus vicios, aléjense de mí, por favor. Critíquenme un poco más. Me encuentro entretenida al escuchar todo lo que dicen, lo que maldicen. Déjenme reírme un poco más. Porque tú no sabes nada, corres la voz y no te calles, me tapo los oídos y simplemente digo na, 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 na. Déjeme negar la lista, no soy loca ni malinchista. Na, 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 na. Dicen que soy egoísta.
Another huge difference is the overall sound. The mixing just got better. I mean, if we compare the first one in Diddy Center, it's a relatively small venue. It's the first time they're playing the song. The crowd doesn't know. So here we have big production, great mixing, and a crowd that's really going into it. And it sounds great.
Ya no sé qué hacer, no le veo el punto a pretender.
And do I have to mention how Ale is just such a badass? I mean, look at that.
Ya no sé qué hacer,
First the smirk,
no le
Then what do you want?
veo el punto a
Confidence.
aprender. No intento más, porque yo ya sé. Detrás de las cortinas ellos siguen hablando. Buenas intenciones siempre salen sobrando. No creas que me engañas con estas. Porque tú no sabes nada. Corres la voz.
You have to love Danny's faces. We all love Solecito, I know.
La voz, no te calles, me tapo los oídos y simplemente digo ta, ta, na, 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 ta, ta, na, 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 na. Déjenme negar la lista, no soy loca ni malinchista. Ta, ta, na, 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 ta, ta, na, 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 na. Dicen que soy egoísta, condenada narcisista. Na, 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 na. Volveré a negar la lista, no soy loca ni malinchista. Ta, ta, na, 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 ta, ta, na, 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 na. Dicen que soy egoísta, condenada narcisista. ¡Muchas gracias!
I mean, thanks to them because they're amazing. So I'll I won't add anything else to over everything I have already said. I'll just wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoy this journey. I love the song. We love the song. You know? And to see the growth in this series has been amazing. I know we saw it maybe in real time, but to see it back to back, it gives a different feel. I feel. So let me know if you want to see that little thing where to see every time Paulina is being up front and that we have record, or you can suggest me another one for these peculiar journeys. We'll continue until the release of the new album, and let's see what do they have in store for us, shall we? Thank you so much. If you make it this far into the video, please share, like, subscribe. And if you want to support the channel any further, you can buy me a coffee. There's a link down there in the description. Until the next time, please be safe and rock on.